Ja, hej och välkommen ska ni vara till den här kanal och idag kör vi Tour de France och det här är avsnitt 28.
Kilometers,
kör vi.
there's no doubt about it. A strong man will claim victory today.
Och vi kör det sista racet för den här säsongen. Och snart börjar det gå igen. Hoppas ni tycker om de här videorna. För som ni har sett kanske så har jag lagt ut dagligen än så länge.
1 minute for the breakaway. It's looking good.
Och det tycker jag är i alla fall
The time gap between the peloton and the escapees is stationary.
imponerande. Nej. Ja. Jag har svårt att säga det ordet. Fy fan. Men det är
The race leaders
imponerande.
begin the first
Där hade vi
difficulty
det.
of the day. The ascent to the Colle del Gallo. 5.7 kilometers
Som
on an
sagt,
average slope of
njut av videon.
7.1%.
Men det är inte så många som ser hela videon. Det är bara i genomsnitt 1,5 minut som ser det. Men det är ni som väljer. Om ni gillar det eller inte.
The time
Jag
gap
bara
between the
lägger ut.
peloton and the escapees is stationary.
Men ni kommenterar ju inte på exakt vad jag ska lägga ut. Så det blir ett lite svårt problem. Men hoppas ni tycker om det oavsett.
You must constantly try to shelter from the wind so as not to consume energy. This is what allows a rider to edge clear at the end of the race.
Nej, säger du det? Men som sagt, det är lite upprepande. Men som tur är att
The breakaway has covered
inte
100 kilometers since leaving Bergamo.
likadant som varje gång. Vissa är annorlunda i alla fall.
The front of the race is 2 kilometers from the summit.
Perfekt. Two summit. Nej. De var 2 kilometer ifrån the summit. Och nu kommer vi ha det lugnt här. Vi har chill. Väntar in de andra. De här kör ihjäl sig på något sätt. Och vi bara kommer igen. Där är mitt namn. Vi bara tar det lugnt än så länge. För snart. Där ni ser att det är 2 berg innan den här vattflaskan. Eller, ja,
The front of the race will soon be getting down to the serious business. After a ride along the shore of Lake Como, the assault will begin on the first real difficulty on the route, the Madonna del Ghisallo.
Som kommer här. Vi ser ju att det är lite svårt, va? För vissa så kommer det vara ett helsike.
The first riders are onto the downhill section. If they still have a clear head, they'll soon spot the chapel at the top of the climb.
Du menar så.
If climbing the Muro di Sormano is an exploit in itself, simply reaching the foot is no easy matter. That entails a 5-kilometer climb at almost 7%. The gap between the favorites group and the front is 30 seconds.
Så. Aha, jag är i fel grupp.
It is not always a good idea to be too many in a breakaway, as the others will not necessarily want to cooperate.
Nej, jag vet. Vi måste försöka komma ikapp på honom. Vi tar det där namnet, det kan inte jag i alla fall.
The head of the race arrives in Como. Now there's a little over 20 kilometers left and 2 obstacles to be cleared. The Civilio and the San Fermo della Battaglia.
Reduce speed, otherwise you'll hit the wall.
Kan vi ta den? Nej.
The descent brings the riders towards Como and the final difficulty of the day, the San Fermo della Battaglia. There are 10 kilometers left before the finish.
Ja, nu
The
kan jag
gap between
säga
the
hejdå.
favorites group and the front is 30 seconds.
Sådär.
Guys,
Med ett
today
nytt
it's
år.
almost totally flat, except for the final stretch. It should come down to a sprint between punches. Have a good stage.
Tackar.
Time gap stabilized.
Oj, oj, nu undrar jag som vinner det här året. Ja, jag vann ju förra året.
The gap is decreasing. The peloton has not given up.
Nej, okej. Det kanske han inte gör.
1 minute for the breakaway. It's looking good.
Yes. Säg något annat då för fan.
30 seconds lead for the head of the race.
Guys, don't forget to protect our leader. Communication is important. That's why we have team comm.
Det är bra.
The peloton doesn't seem to want to let the lead group get away. Some teams must think that there are
Så.
too many people up front.
Tar vi
riders
alla
are
det, för
approaching
vi
the
får ju
feed
tillbaka
zone.
de här nu.
They'll then reach the only classified climb before the finishing line. Last time check with the breakaway. 1 minute. 30 seconds lead for the head of the race.
Nej.
The peloton is riding
Ja, det gjorde
hard. Stay
jag.
well placed. The end of the stage is not far off. Stay awake. It will soon start to move in the
Men jag
peloton.
är inte vaken nu eller? Vad säger du?
The riders up front still have something left. They're upping the pace to try to hold out till the end.
Ja, men det kommer de inte lyckas med.
Breakaway over.
Jag kommer inte lyckas
Less
med
than
det här.
20 kilometers left for the group
Jag
at
kommer
the
inte.
front.
The breakaway is unlikely to go all the way, guys. Watch
Nej.
out for counter moves.
We'll have to keep something in reserve if we want to get away in the final kilometers.
Nu börjar jag störa. Vart ska jag gå? Jag ska vara bakom nu. Ja.
The last 5
Herman.
kilometers. Get ready for the final sprint. Make sure that nobody opens up a gap on the overall standing.
Okej. Perfekt.
He's trying to get out. Watch out!
Ja, låt han.
Breakaway over.
Ser du? Vad händer? Och jag körde från lite i alla fall. Det blev han trött. Kom igen, cykla på, cykla på, cykla på, cykla på. Nej,
Only 2 kilometers left.
det är bra. Cykla, 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 cykla bort den sura min. Om det går...
He's the new leader of the overall youth standing.
The red pennant is in sight. Another kilometer of climbing for the front of the race.
Perfekt.
The leader has buckled. This isn't the time. Watch out. You'll soon
Åh,
have
så
no
vinner
more
jag.
energy for an
Och nu är vi
Vault 2
tillbaka.
is a momentous occasion for any renowned climber. Therefore, it won't be surprising to see their teams taking on the chase behind the breakaway riders. Nobody left on a breakaway. The breakaway has 30 seconds lead.
Yes.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
Perfekt,
The
säger
time
jag.
gap between the peloton and the escapees is stationary. The first classified climb for the mountains classification carries a 4th category label. The first at the top scores 1 point. The
Jag tar
gap
en
with the yellow
point.
jersey is melting away. The escapees will have difficulties going all the way to the finish.
Philipsen släpper där.
You must constantly try to shelter from the wind so as not to consume energy. This is what allows a rider to edge clear at the end of the race. The first intermediate sprint of the day will soon be fought out. The winner will pocket 20 points towards the green jersey. 30 seconds between the breakaway and the yellow jersey. The front of the race begins the final phase of the stage with the ascent of the Col de la Liguière. Almost 12 kilometers on an average slope of 6%. A nice warm-up before attacking the Ventoux. The pass is a first category climb. The riders can score 10, 8, 6, 4, 2 and 1 points towards the mountains classification. The breakaway increases its lead on the yellow jersey group.
Perfekt.
The second intermediate sprint of the day will be fought out in Seoul. The ascent of the Ventoux will begin less than 2 kilometers after that.
Så. Då är vi på
The
väg
last
upp
time
då.
this flank was taken by the Tour de France was in 2021. In fact, the Ventoux was climbed twice during the same stage. If Julien Alaphilippe led across the summit the first time around, it was Wout van Aert who proved himself to be the strongest on the second passage, going on to claim a solo victory a few kilometers later in Lausanne.
Så.
Ride in his tracks. He's dangerous for the overall standing.
Nu är det bara att göra.
Less than 2 kilometers from the finish.
Nu pushar man här. Hej hej, hej hej, hej då.
You're on your way to the top spot of the white jersey standing. It's great. Keep going, kid.
Perfekt.
The leader has buckled. This isn't the time.
Sekunder.
We've taken control of the provisional overall standings with a new
Så.
rider.
Och nu är vi tillbaka.
Catch some of the favourites for final victory off their guard.
Nu kör vi.
The peloton has caught up. There's no more escapees.
Nej, låt dem åka.
1.5 minutes for the breakaway. It might just work.
Exposar ju dem lika mycket ändå.
Well, on flat stages, that's not where you see the most drama. You can accelerate forward if you think that nothing important will happen.
Okej.
The climbs that count towards the polka dot jersey classification only earn points on the second and third laps.
Perfekt.
The 2 intermediate sprints of this stage are contested on the finishing line in Mont-la-Ville. It offers a chance to check out the terrain before an eventual bunched finish. Time difference between the peloton and the breakaway is steady. The breakaway is losing ground.
Nej.
Watch out, lads.
The wind has picked up. As you leave Bonnier-sur-Seine, the road is exposed, so there could be borders. Move up to the front.
Watch out! Watch out!
You've got to ride, guys. He's dangerous for the overall standings. The breakaway is upping the tempo at the head of the race. It doesn't intend to be caught up that easily.
Jag håller med. Okay.
The breakaway is losing ground. The front of the race is now on the last lap. A little more than 50 kilometers to be covered before the finishing line.
Perfect, perfect.
The riders up front still have something left. They're upping the pace to try to hold out till the end.
Japp, jag märker det.
The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the peloton. Last time checked with the breakaway, 1 minute.
Där har vi honom. Han håller ju på att dö, det gör jag också. Jag fattar ingenting.
The riders will soon be at the final 2 climbs. It's the last chance to try to get away. Because at the top of the final climb, there will only be 5 kilometers to the finishing line.
Yeah.
They're riding hard behind. This
Jag är på noterna. Så ja. Kom där pokal. Så ja. Där är vi tillbaka.
That could result in some leaders being absent at the finish. 1 minute for the breakaway. It's looking good.
Nej, looking good. Nej,
When you have a very
det.
good sprinter in the team, it makes sense to stick with a breakaway in order to favor a mass sprint and vie for the stage win. Unless, of course, a rider from the team is present in the breakaway.
Ja, och vi har så jättemånga här i klungan då. Som tänker satsa allt eller inget på en gång.
The time gap with the head of the race is stable. The breakaway is losing ground.
It's good. You're back on top of the overall youth standing.
Tackar. Detta har de. Åh herregud.
Well, on flat stages, that's not where you see the most drama. You can accelerate forward if you think that nothing important will happen. The gap
Kör
is
vi.
increasing. We
Kör
don't
vi.
need to ride for now. There's nobody dangerous for us in the breakaway.
Nej.
The breakaway is losing ground.
The road will be exposed for about 10 kilometers. The wind doesn't seem to be strong enough to create borders today. You can just tuck yourselves in.
Perfekt.
The gap is decreasing, guys. The peloton should be there for the stage
Det
win.
känns att det är två olika röster. Det blir
The riders up
snart
front
en
still
år.
have something left. They're upping the pace to try to hold out till the end.
Looks like the breakaway still has some gas left. It's still able to widen the gap.
Gasolina.
Less than 20 kilometers left for the group at the front. 15 kilometers from the finish for the group at the front.
15.
There are 10
Yeah.
kilometers left before the finish.
5.
Just 5 more kilometers. Get ready to sprint. We must win to secure the green jersey.
Green jersey. Okej then.
The red pennant is in sight for the front of the race. Last kilometer.
Så ja. Men där sticker han. Det är bra. Jag är
It
tillbaka.
looks promised to a sprinter.
Nu har det kommit
The
3
peloton has
sprinter
caught
på
up.
en gång.
There's no more
På raken.
escapees.
Det tycker jag är jättebra. För det är det som går fortast.
Wearing the jersey implies certain responsibilities. Team members must ensure the tempo of the race, and they, therefore, tire more. That is why it is sometimes better not to take the overall lead too early, in order to avoid tiring one's team.
Ja. Men jag håller ju inte på.
On flat stages, that's not where you see the most drama. You can accelerate forward if you think that nothing important will happen.
The time gap between the peloton and the breakaway is decreasing.
Perfekt.
There are riders in trouble behind. They should be able to catch up if the tempo drops.
Yes, men jag tror inte det, va?
The breakaway is losing ground.
It's good. You're back on top of the overall youth standing. The breakaway is upping the tempo at the head of the race. It doesn't intend to be caught up that easily.
Ja, okej. Så jag håller på att dö här.
The gap is increasing. We don't need to ride for now. There's nobody dangerous for us in the breakaway.
Jag höll
The
på att
riders
dö
are
här.
approaching the feed zone.
Jag fattar inte varför ni körde som bara den.
Time difference between the peloton and the breakaway is steady. The breakaway is losing ground.
Perfekt. De bara körde på bara skitigt.
Guys, we're coming to Saint-Amand-Montrond. You'll be onto a small climb. Get a good feel for it, because you're going to have to climb it twice more.
Looks like the breakaway still has some gas left. It's still able to widen the gap.
Yahoo!
The riders are once again at the foot of the Côte de Groschen. There will be another point that goes towards the mountains classification.
Perfekt.
You'll return once again to the finishing line to contest the intermediate sprint, guys. However, then you go off on a different lap.
The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the peloton.
Ja, vi åkte rakt fram nu istället.
The first riders are 2 kilometers from the climb.
Då förstår jag. Nu kör vi.
Guys, the final lap is like the first with the Côte de Groschen. You know what to expect in the closing stretch. Good luck.
Now the road is
Thanks.
free right to the finishing line. The sprinters' teams will now control the race all the way to the line. Teams are organising for the final showdown. The sprinters are primed. There will soon be burning rubber. The red pennant is
Vilken
in
rubber?
sight for the front of the race.
Vilken rubber? Men det får nog vara allt för den här gången, så tryck gärna prenumerera, kommentera, så syns vi i ett avsnitt på min kanal imorgon. Ha det bäst nu. Hej då!